Dave Doeren, head coach, NC State. We're on video, so you didn't waste the suit, which is good. I just want to look. I don't see a target on the back.
No.
Your team is the hunted this year. How does that change things?
Yeah, I think you're going to get people's best in this league, and obviously the notoriety changes just the demeanor of your locker room. You got to keep them grounded, and you got to identify some of the pitfalls that come with complacency. And but it's good, the guys are excited. They've earned some notoriety, they've earned some respect, and now we need to get on the grass and go play.
Has there been a different energy in the spring and into the summer with workouts and guys staying around and staying together?
We had great energy the last 2 years, to be honest with you. It's different in that we're not under the radar, but it's not different in how the guys are in the building. Or I think there's a definite hunger. There's some, I don't know, I guess you'd say chips on the shoulder from our bowl situation. And, we didn't win the league last year. We weren't in the championship game. Like, we have a lot to prove still, and our guys know that, and that's what makes it fun. Like, they're not, hey, we were, 10-3 or 9-3, however you want to look at the finish. We beat our rival. We beat, Clemson. We, for the first time as a program, beat those two, in UNC and Louisville in the same season. So many good things happened, but at the same time, like, our goal is to win it, and we didn't do that. So there's just an energy about that.
What was your record last year?
If you ask me, we're 10-3. Okay. I mean, they handed us the bowl trophy in San Diego. Like, it counts if it's sitting in your house.
Look, is it in your house? Is it on the mantle? Where is it?
No, when you walk in the Murphy Center, it's right there next to the the trophy we get for the Textile Bowl.
There's a mindset among the fan base, and maybe even too many people who've been covering the program for a long time before you got here, that NC State is better when there aren't any expectations. How do we convince them that mindset is kind of BS?
I don't know who them is, so I'm not.
Well, I don't want to mention all of them by name.
You know what I mean? You just got to go play good. You got to go win games, and since I've been here for most of my tenure, we've won a lot of games. We've had a couple bad years. I think it's just about going out and doing what you're supposed to do. Last year we did that. It was the first time in 35 years they've been undefeated at home. And so there's progress. You see these kids coming back because they want to prove something. That's what it's about. It's about going out and proving it.
You also have a lot of guys coming back who could have made other decisions.
Right.
So, and it's an older team. You've got some 6-year guys.
We do.
So, did those guys take over at that point, and you don't have to do as much, managing day-to-day emotions, and because they're going to hold each other accountable?
Yeah, I think the one thing you can't replace as a coach is experience in your systems. You can go maybe recruit an older player, but he hasn't played on your team. So that value is immeasurable, and I have a lot of experienced players. The key for us is getting them all on the field and keeping them all on the field at the same time. And,
right.
For once, because I haven't had in the last 3 years really a season where we didn't have some severe injuries. We need a little bit of love and care from the Lord on this one, and it'd be nice to have that. Just give us one of those years where things go our way health-wise.
Yeah, look, there were so many guys who went down last year, and it always seems like you found somebody behind them.
We did.
That became a star. And I also think, and maybe it's just because he's one of my favorite players to watch in the league, but Tanner Ingles stayed on the field.
Yeah,
last year, and so and a lot of it was his own over exuberance. I'll just use that term. But when he stayed on the field, it just seemed like it made your defense better.
Yeah, Tanner's an elite football player. I mean, he sees things different than other people see him. His vision of what's going on, his ability to react, and obviously the way he hits people. He's the Tasmanian devil, man. That's what he is. I love watching Tanner play. And what's cool. The coaches in our league, a lot of us are friends, and the number of times some of them have come up to me and like, damn, I wish 10 would have left. They're sick of playing against him because of how he plays. And at the same time, they'll say, I love how he plays, And so, no question, old school guy that just has tremendous ability.
there may be other areas of your football team that you have some concerns about, but I'm curious about the offensive line, because the way I look at it, if your offensive line is good, then sky's the limit. How does your offensive line? You have to replace, obviously, Ike Ekwonu.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to do.
Right.
I mean, he's as good as there is in the country. So I'm excited about the guys we have back, and I think Anthony Belton's going to be a really good football player for us. He was Icky's backup last year. We recruited him from Georgia Military Community College. Mm-hmm. He's had a great offseason. Bryson Spees is back for his 6th year and has played a ton of football for us at guard and tackle. And Tim McKay's a guy that's played well, and we need him to stay healthy. He's had some injury things he's dealt with. So those 3 guys at tackle we feel really good about. And just going to be how it plays out in fall camp, And then you look at the rest of the O-line. We got Chandler Zavala back, which was great for that young man. Grant Gibson returns. Dylan McMahon returns. Derek Eason returns. We got a lot of guys that have played for us.
Dave Doeren is with us here at ACC Football Kickoff. I wondered how much conversation here would be about football and how much would be about the landscape of college, really college football, more so than college athletics. So in a broad way, what are your thoughts on, it's really been the last 2 years, but what are your thoughts on what's gone on?
Every year I come here, there's like this hot topic that has nothing to do with us winning.
Right.
And that's the new one, I think it's a shame, personally, this is just me, that teams are leaving their conferences they've been in forever for the dollar. And the Pac-12 had a good setup, I think losing, and again, this is just my opinion, no one else's. I like the pageantry of college football, you know what I mean? As an athlete that's at a West Coast school that now has to travel to the Midwest and the East Coast all the time, I wonder how that's going to go over for them. That's a lot of travel. It's a lot of time zones. That's going to be hard on them. It's going to be hard on their sleep. It's going to be hard on their coaches' sleep, and all that. So, I hope it's worth it, because to me, I don't think it's good for the student athlete to have to do that. As far as where it's going, I have no idea, and I really am just like everyone else. I'm a spectator watching all this stuff happen, and we'll see where it ends up. I feel great about our league. I mean, our league has a grant of rights that is very hard to change.
Yep.
There's a lot of $120 million buyout to leave the league. I don't know how many schools would be willing to do that. So I feel pretty protected in the ACC when it comes to the poaching and all those kind of things.
I'm just curious, because there's this revenue gap that has existed really for a decade between the SEC and the Big Ten and the ACC. What could you do with an additional $30 million?
Yeah. Well, I think there's so many things. Can we use that for our roster with NIL? That would be one thing I would wonder, because that would be
as of right now, probably not.
You can't, but why not? Why can some general businessman do that in the school that they're at? Why can't we do that? Or why can't that come from the television network itself? Why can't they get an NIL deal for every student athlete with money like that, for current players?
Sure.
The academic centers, the training rooms, the weight rooms, the technology out there. You guys have no idea how many times we want to buy something and can't because of budget limitations, or how we travel, or the hotels we stay in. All of it. There's so many improvements that could be made, just even at the academic center for us. How can we improve technology so students have better tutors and better rooms to study in, so many things. The dorm setup, like how can you do things that way? And so there's a lot. And then, there's charitable things you could do with money like that to help the communities you're in. So, yeah, I would love to have that problem.
Summers get shorter.
They do.
You guys start earlier. What was your summer like? I know you went fishing.
Yeah,
you always go fishing.
Yeah, we finished a crazy June. I've never seen recruiting like it has been in June this year. Went to the mountains. One of my sons goes to Appalachian State, and so went to the mountains, spent some time up there with some friends, and then went to Lake Gaston, which is kind of our getaway, and then finished it off with a trip to Montana with 2 of my sons. Got some fly fishing in North Carolina and in Whitefish, Montana this year. So had a great summer. Too short, like you mentioned. Really wish had a little bit more time with the family, but excited to be back.
Well, good luck. ECU is the first one.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you very soon. Again, it was on video, so you look good.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. Go Pack.
You got it.
All right, bud.
Thanks.